And a warm welcome to all the educators joining us today. On behalf of Center, we are delighted to have you with us for another insightful session in our ongoing Center webinar series for teachers, a space where passionate educators come together to learn, reflect, and grow professionally. Your presence and participation continue to inspire us as we build a stronger, more empowered teaching community. Now it's a pleasure to introduce the facilitator for this transformative session, Mrs. Akansha Jain. Akansha Jain is a dynamic and versatile educator with over 10 years of experience across diverse roles, including educator, storyteller, coordinator, curriculum designer, proofreader, content developer, writer, and teacher trainer. With strong expertise in public speaking, personality development, and English language training, she brings creativity and depth to every passionate learner. Passionate about reading, writing, theater, singing, traveling, and painting, she blends her artistic interests with innovative pedagogy. Known for her engaging approach and commitment to nurturing meaningful learning experiences, she continues to inspire learners and educators through impactful sessions and storytelling. So now back to the session. Welcome, Mrs. Akansha Jain, and once
Thank you.
again, happy to have you here. Over to you.
Okay. Can I have the slides? Okay. So, good evening, all. I'm Akanksha. So, this session, as you all know, is about organizing children's literature. So, before beginning, I would like to ask you all that what do you understand by children's literature? You can just type in the chat box. What do you understand by children's literature? What is your understanding when I say literature? Is it only books? Is it only stories or textbooks or the curriculum we are having in our schools and institutions, or it's something? Just answer in few words. Okay. So, children's literature includes books, stories, poems, rhymes, and different kinds of literature like novels and letters, and whatever we read, with whatever books we read, whatever magazines we read, like children's magazine or magazines for adults, it's all literature. So, when we talk about children in specific, so it's children's magazines and short novels. So this is Abdul Kalam's quote that he's saying, the teacher I never met. So this is a quote. Yes. Learning gives creativity. Creativity leads to thinking. Thinking provides knowledge. Knowledge makes you great. So this is a very nice line. These are very nice lines, and you can just read it again, and it will give you the interpretation what he's trying to say. That was the first time I met my teacher who taught me how to live in this world. What is the real meaning of nationalism? The teacher was none other than former President of the Republic of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. How a small village boy named Kalam found his way from the streets of village to Rashtrapati Bhavan and then switching back to educate India about what's life. So it's this quote is it written by our former president Dr. Abdul Kalam. So as you all know that he was a former president, and he has also written various books. So this is about creativity, talks about creativity, that when we learn we become creative, think creatively, like when we are learning, for example, any different language, or we are learning any kind of skill. So it gives us creativity, creative thinking feathers. So we are creative on our minds, we try things differently, we explore things, we do things by different ways. Then creativity leads to thinking. Then thinking provides knowledge. When we are creating new things, we are thinking. Our mind is working side by side. Simultaneously, our minds are working. Cognition is going on. Thinking process is going on. Then we have knowledge. It provides knowledge. Then knowledge makes you great. Eventually, knowledge makes you a great person. You are a learned person. Have some knowledge. You have some skill. Now you know that skill. Okay, so there's a poll question. I would request you to all attempt this poll. Do you prefer reading physical books or ebooks? With the advent of technological era and AI booming in since the last 4 5 years to a very great extent, so do you prefer still reading physical books, the book in our hand, and just reading it line by line and keeping it near the pillow while we sleep? So you prefer physical books or ebooks on our tabs, on our mobiles, on our laptops, on screens? So it's 96% physical books and 4% ebooks. Okay, great. So now we come to what is the meaning and significance of crea- children's literature, right? So before that, I would just like to ask you, when we are having our ebooks, I hope you all read. You are reading as educators and as adults. We read, right? So only then we can instill reading habits in our students, in our children, right? So we can't just say we have to read, just go through children's literature. We have to read ourselves. So children imitate, children learn by seeing what environment they are getting. If they are getting exposure to reading, exposure to children's literature, if they are seeing adults in their families reading, so they also develop gradually an interest in reading, right? So we have to uh, read different kinds of literature, exploring different kinds of literature, right? So I'm going through the chat box. It's both, some are saying both ebooks and physical books, right? Okay, so just recall the days when we were children, when we were young, we were of young age, and we were children, we were studying in school. So what kinds of books were coming that time? If I could recall, I can say, can you just type in the chat box what all books have you gone through when you were a child, when you were young, you were a school going child? So I read, if I talk about myself, I have read Nandan, Champak, Chandamama, Balhans, and books like that, and comics also. There were different comics, Chacha Chaudhary and Pinky, and different kinds of characters, right? Motivational books, right? So there are also different kinds of magazines, Balhans, Children's World, and fantasy books. Yes, children are not having proper concentration due to mobile. Yes, so we have to instill reading habit in them right from the beginning, right from the childhood, right from they are young, very young as pre-nursery, going to the preschool. We don't have to think my child is just 2 3 years old, how can he or she read? We can just provide picture books, or we can provide an environment. We can just talk about pictures, different kinds of pictures, visuals. You can have posters pasted at your place, at your home, on children's room, in children's room, on the wall, so that they have an exposure to children's literature. So when they are having a good exposure to children's literature, only then they will have an interest in reading. It will not happen just by you saying it again and again, just read, read, read. It will not happen like that way. So it will happen when they are themselves getting an environment, a print rich environment. So for that you have to provide them different kind of books, picture books, story books. And gradually we have bilingual books also, that books that are coming in different languages. So if your concern is that my child doesn't understand Hindi, my child doesn't understand English, or a different kind of language, so we have different kinds of language books, bilingual books also, picture books also. And there are one liners also, the books in which every page there's a single line, then there are two liners also, right? So we'll gradually we'll also explore some different innovative publishers who are working on children's literature, different kind of books. And you can also buy books for your children, for your students, for your schools or organizations, or your home, right? So we are okay, so just if you could write in the chat box, okay, what all magazines did you read? Comic strips, comics, Champak, Tinkle magazine, Tintin, Chacha Chaudhary, Women's Era, Sherlock Holmes. Okay, okay, Robin Wood's fantasy story poems, oh, books, right? Okay, so these are the traditional books that we have grown up reading them, right? So nowadays also the books are coming, it's just that the size has changed, the price has changed, right? So we can always explore these books. Then we come to the meaning and significance of children's literature. We are talking so much about children's literature. What is children's literature? Like I asked you all in the beginning only, right? So children's literature is creative writing. It's a form of creative writing, right? It's a story. It can include books. It can include poems, stories that are crafted specifically to entertain or educate young people. Either it's a medium of entertainment, just reading for pleasure, reading for fun, or for gaining some knowledge, for learning. Like if we are reading an encyclopedia, right? Or uh, a book that is based on experiments with science, right? Experiments in science. So our aim is to get ourselves skilled or knowledgeable about some particular concept. So here we are reading not for fun, not for pleasure, not for entertainment, but we are reading for our knowledge development, for educating ourselves on some particular topic, right? So books, children's literature range from simple board books for the toddlers to complex young adult novels. So when we talk about short novels, like you are mentioning in the chat box, Enid Blyton, Ruskin Bond, right? So we can have those, often featuring illustrations and categorized by age or reading level and genre. So when we are selecting any kind of book, we keep in mind the age group of the learner. If the child is 2 year old or 3 year old, we prefer picture books or books that have little l- language content, but more and more of pictures, colorful pictures, visuals, and illustrations. So to grab interest and attention of the learners, right? And we also categorize them by age. So age wise we have specific brackets. We can, any child can read, like it's not that if a child is 10 year old, he or she cannot read, cannot attempt or see a picture book, just because a picture book is meant for 2 to 3 year old, right? So it, children can always read the read at according to their reading levels, according to their age, obviously, but leaving that behind. It doesn't have to restrict themselves that you are 10 year old, so you have to read books only for the 10 year old age level or reading level. You can always go explore different kinds of reading literature, right? Now, why do we need children's literature? So can I have in your chat box, can I have the answers? So why, what is the importance of children's literature? We are talking so much about uh, children's literature, these books, different kinds of book. What is its important? What does it do? What is its use? Why do we need children's literature? We already have our textbooks. We already have our curriculum. So yes, moral values, yes. So this is great. So yes, Ramneet very correctly put, moral values. So in this time, in this current era, we need moral values also, and it will not happen only by preaching or only by just saying what message did you gain from this story, what was the moral value learned from this story or this lesson. It will not happen only in this way. It will happen when children read more and more. Like there are tales like Hitopdesha and Panchtantra. They are basically teaching us different kinds of moral values also, and they are giving us concepts also and messages also, and obviously for entertainment also, for pleasure also. So exposure to rich variety, yes. Vocabulary, yes. Literature develops vocabulary at a very fast pace. When we are reading any literature, any book, or any text, we are learning new words, right? And every time we read, there's a different interpretation also. Sometimes it happens that I'm reading a novel today, and after 10-15 days, I read the same novel again. So I'll be exploring, I'll be having different kind of interpretation, maybe or may not be. But we'll have different perspectives of reading that, of interpretation of that text, right? Skills, it enhances imagination, yes. Creativity, it exposes them to a rich variety of words, yes. Improves character building, vocabulary improvement, creativity. Teaches them didactic lessons. Reading speed, yes. Reading speed is also developed. If you are reading more and more, so your reading speed will be fast, you'll be reading fast quickly. Yes, technology is very much affecting their concentration and attention span, but we have to keep, it's not their fault, it's our fault of adults that we are giving them phones and devices for our convenience, right? So we have to think about that, we have to reflect about that, and we ourselves have to control ourselves using technology. It will not happen by scolding or preaching them. Right. Okay. So it improves spellings. Yes. Spelling formation, reading skills. Yes. Very good point. It exposes them to different cultures and norms of people. Right. So when we are reading different folk tales, like there are folk tales also from different states, from different countries. So if I am based out of Delhi, right? So, but I'm reading a folk tale of Uttar Pradesh or Rajasthan or any other state or any other country. So I'm getting knowledge, I'm getting knowledge of the how different rituals are followed, how different customs, what are the different traditions, what are the dressing styles, what is the living style, what is the life of people who are living in Uttar Pradesh or Rajasthan or any state or country, right? So it exposes them to different cultures. Reading habit develops, yes. Reading habit develops. So if we want our children to read more and more, so we ourselves have to read. So children, like I said earlier also, children imitate and children learn by what they see, right? Sentence formation, yes. Develops language, imagination and understanding of the world. It includes classic tales, Aesop's fables, Grimm's fairy tales, modern series, Harry Potter, series of unfortunate events, and diverse formats like picture books, early readers, and graphic novels. So all these points are covered when I just read the chat box. So all these points were covered by you guys. Encompasses cultures, again the cultures thing, the tradition. So we know about different uh, cultures, right? Okay. Okay. It develops empathy and understanding of different lives and cultures. So when we are exploring different culture, we develop empathy. Like how do people? If I'm reading about a folk tale in Rajasthan, and the story or the tale is talking about what kind of struggles they are facing, the people in Rajasthan are facing in terms of water scarcity, right? So i I might develop an empathy, I might develop an understanding in different perspective, that i I'm wasting water because it's very easy, very convenient for me to get water in a metropolitan city, right? But like Delhi, but for Rajasthan, for people from Rajasthan or states areas or countries where there's water scarcity or food scarcity, how do they feel, how do they have their survival, right? So it develops empathy and understanding. It supports cognitive growth, language acquisition, and literacy. So when we read, our brain works more actively. There's an active learning happening, language acquisition, we acquire languages. So if I'm reading Hindi language, it might be different kinds of words from Urdu or different languages might be coming in the literature, right? So I develop that language vocabulary also, in addition to the Hindi, the main language that I'm reading the text in, right? It develops literacy also. It develops all four skills: LSRW, listening, speaking, reading, writing, right? So there's a poll question. Please attempt. I request you all to go to that. How often do you read for fun? Daily, monthly, weekly? Daily is 50%, monthly is 26%, and weekly is 24%. Okay, great. Daily 50%. Right. So the next is the last is offer windows into new worlds and moral lessons, like we talked about initially, only moral values and into new worlds. Okay. So what is the purpose of reading? What is the purpose of reading literature? If you could just drop in the chat box. Yes. Yes. Sympathy, empathy, daily, everyday, new world. Okay. So if you could drop in the chat box, what is the purpose of reading, uh, according to you? Why do we read? For knowledge, for vocabulary, yes. To entertain, teach. If you are teaching a new concept, a different concept, if I want to teach the children, the students, concept of environment, right? So environmental pollution. So I am having children's literature on different kinds of pollution, or stories or anecdotes of different pollution stories, right? So I'm using children's literature to develop that particular concept, to build vocabulary, to improve concentration. Yes, for communication skills. Very good. So when we read more and more, our communication skills automatically develop, right? It gets better day by day, right? So when we talk, when we read different kind of text, different children's literature, so we develop good communication skills, in the sense we have developing a vocabulary, we are developing different kinds of sentences, we are exploring different kinds of sentences, not only short sentences but long sentences. We are exploring different kinds of grammatical concepts like nouns, adjectives, and all, right? To make them aware, gain for knowledge, to go through different lives, to understand life, for enlightenment, yes. Like if we are reading any spiritual book or self-help book or a book related to psychology, so it might be that we are not reading for pleasure or for knowledge gain, but for just enlightenment, for just to uh, have that vibe, like if we are reading a spiritual book, right? Yeah. Okay. So we read to entertain, teach, build vocabulary, improve skills, and foster emotional development. And we have different age groups when we can read, like infancy, we can have board books. To adolescents, we can explore different kinds of literature, novels, short novels, long stories, folk tales, encyclopedia, right? Dictionary, we can also read dictionary. There are picture dictionaries also for young learners. There are uh, the normal dictionaries, the traditional dictionaries we also have, right? So we can read that, and we can just have a develop a habit gradually, that every day we are learning a new word, its meaning, and using that particular word more and more throughout the day. So for example, if I'm reading a dictionary and a word comes elated, I select any one word from the dictionary on my own according to my choice. I select the word elated, so I am using elated word today more and more in different contexts. So the word elated will automatically be added to my vocabulary, to my word list, right? So gradually, when we are reading new words daily, so our vocabulary will automatically add up to those many words, right? formats, different kinds of formats of books. We have picture books, we have chapter books like the textbooks, we have graphic novels. Yes. Okay. We have magazines also, right? And there are different genres of literature. Like we have fairy tales, we have thriller, we have fables, we have fantasy, adventure books that are talking about adventurous trips or adventure, exploring different kinds of things. Mystery, thriller, realistic fiction, right? So yes. Yes. So there's a poll question. Please, I request you to attempt that. What makes a book interesting to you? So when you are reading a book or selecting a book, a literature, so what makes a book interesting according to you? If they have pictures, the message is important to you, like only the message, what the book is trying to convey, what message the book is trying to convey, that is important to you, or the exciting plot, what is the plot of the book, the novel or the story or whatever literature you are reading, or the use of any funny words, humorous incidents or humorous words. So what do you think that makes a book interesting to you? Okay, all important message, all. Yes. Okay, please participate in the poll. Okay. Yeah. So now we'll move on to different, exploring different examples of literature, right? Okay. So we have Pratham books. We have, you can just Google Pratham books, and you'll be taken to the website of Pratham books, and there are different kinds of books, different levels. Like they have four levels of reading: level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. And different languages they have. They have many languages, English to Hindi. They have the translation bilingual ones also. Like I was talking, English Kannada, English Hindi, English Marathi, English Tamil, English Telugu. They have many languages, English Bengali. You can just go through the website and have a look at what kind of different books they have. And they are very innovative book, and they are very innovative books, and also the price is also very affordable. It's not very expensive. They have different kinds of book sets also, like you can have many books in one set. And or story cards, stories in the form of written in the form of cards. And we have a library also, they have a library also, library in a classroom. So that means you can order the whole library, and they'll provide you with a whole lot of books that you can use in your classroom, right? So they have library in a classroom and STEM library in a classroom. So you can always explore that. And different kinds of books, I would request you to just go through the website and log in, sign up, make your account, and then just explore different kinds of literature. It's not that you are adult, you can't read books for children. You can always read. You yourself will find that there's something different. The so interesting, such interesting visuals and images they are developing, right? And different concepts you can cover. Okay. So I have provided the links of some websites that I'm just talking here in the slides. So I have covered Pratham, the second last one. So now there's Eklavya. Eklavya, we have Eklavya. It's an NGO in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. So it's eklavya.in, and they have different kinds of books. You can also many books are available for free downloads, or you can order the online books also. They have flip books, they have bilingual books, they have big books also, the books that are very big in size, very big page, and very large font size. And different kinds of languages they have. And one thing Eklavya has added that is very different, they have books written by children themselves also. So different kinds of poems or different kinds of stories, pictures, the books children have written, the stories, poems, literature children themselves have written. So they have all that also. And they have also, for adults also, they have magazine called Sandarbh and Strot. So if you are a science educator or an educator in any institution, you can have subscription or you can read Sandarbh Stotra. So these are books for educators, adults, and children also can read of middle school, middle and senior secondary school. They can also read. They are available for free download, and you can also have their subscription. So you can they have different concept, different articles, right? So, and there's a book called Khushi Khushi by a Clavia, that is a workbook for EVS and language. So they have different kinds of activities, very different innovative activities. It's a workbook kind of thing for different levels, for different age groups and different classes. So you can always go through the site, and under resources, publications, books, magazines, you can order that. And they have flip books also, and so you can explore these books. And right now they have they are just have upcoming book festival, Pune Book Festival in Ferguson College from 13 December to 21 December. So those who are attending from Mumbai or Pune or nearby areas, or can afford traveling to Pune for this Ferguson College Pune Book Festival. So there also Eklavya is having its stall, so you can directly visit the stall, right? And then we have the next is Children's Book Trust. So they also have their own very famous, a very reputed Children's Book Trust, National Book Trust. They also have very good literature based on different levels, different topics, different subjects. Also, you have the filter option, that what different subjects we have. You are the child is learning in the school, right? And then we have NCRT also. NCRT has a Barkha series. Barkha series is a series for that caters to different reading levels. That means that we have for different languages. And there are one liners also. There one page, on one page a picture is drawn, and in the one liner storybook, it's one line is written, and the two liner is two lines written. They are very thin books, very lightweight books, and very at a very affordable cost of like less than 50 rupees for one book. So you get it's not, the price is not at all an issue. So you get that from the NCRT office or NCRT websites also. Some books are available for download, and some books you can order them, right? And you can order from the NCRT website. And there's this last is Teacher Author. It's an organization that is catering to children's literature, that educates educators about children's literature. I also did a course last year on organizing children's literature from this organization in 2020 2024. So they are talking about how what all things we keep in mind while we are selecting children's a literature, a piece of literature, and what all things we keep in mind, like the gender, the age, the reading levels, right? So you can always explore the website, and there are different poems written by educators like us. So we have this online course. The course is completely online, so you can always participate in they have regular workshops also, webinars also, and this course also. So you can always explore. So okay, so I hope things are clear till now. Okay, so we'll have a 30 seconds break, and then we'll join again, right? So I hope to see you all after 30 seconds. Okay. Okay. So good to see you back. Yes. Okay. So now we have, like I was talking about, Barkha series. So this is an example of Barkha, a book from Barkha series, that is hide and seek. Maza Aa Gaya, Gilli Danda. So these are books, the examples I have displayed images of different books, right? And the teacher author organization, right? Okay. So, okay. So, anyone would like to add on to any different children's literature source that I have might have missed or I have not covered? You are free to add that in the comment section. Yes, reading connects children socially. Punk. Okay. Okay. And we also have different magazines. Like, for when I was talking about Children's Book Trust, they have Children's World, a magazine named Children's World, right? And there are different magazines like Robinish, Tinkle, and Magic Pot. They have this coloring page also, joining the dots page also, cartoon also, Skippy. And if you're talking about science, so we have, like I told you, Strot, Sandarbh, and we have books from these publishers also, in addition to various educational publishers that we all are aware of. And there is a book that is called Psychids, that is an exciting science magazine for children within the age group of 6 to 14 years. It includes facts, it includes experiments and puzzles, right? And if we are reading books, we want to read books, children's literature for learning, for knowledge. So we have National Geographic Kids, and Tell Me Why. The magazine is named Tell Me Why. And there's a magazine called Gobar Times that focuses on environmental and ecological topics. So we can always explore that. Okay, so please, yes. Yeah. So there's a question: kindly guide how to help develop reading habit at initial stage of 3 to 4 years. So I just mentioned that you yourself should be reading like before bedtime. You can start reading before bedtime. You can start with picture books, and you can just display some, like when I talked about Eklavya, they have the story charts also, the story posters also. So you can buy a story poster, story chart. They have a set of 8 or 6 or 4 stories or poems in that, and you can display in the child's room. And you can just talk about the child's experience, like what does the child see in that picture, what is the story according to the child. So you can gradually talk about the picture initially, and then we can develop a story on, the child can develop a story along with you, your help, or independently also. And then gradually the child will develop an interest in reading. So it will not come magically overnight. It will take time to different kinds of literature. You yourself have to read in front of the child and just read it naturally, not keeping an aim in mind that you have to read because you have to learn new words, you have to develop vocabulary. No, just read for fun, read for pleasure, read for just exploring different kinds of concepts, different kinds of things. So gradually, and expose him or her to different kinds of literature. Like you can have literature from NCRT, from Eklavya, from Pratham, or different poems created by the teachers themselves or adults themselves from teacher author organization. They also have this set of books. So, or different kinds of children's magazines, right? So yes. Okay. So yeah, so I am Okay, so that is from my side. So if you want to have any questions or you have any queries, you can drop in the chat box. I'll be happy to help. And I hope the session made sense. Yes, it helps me connect to the story, learn new words, and relax mind. Yes, reading is also a stress buster. When we read, we just dive into a different kind of world. Yeah, so any questions you have, I'll be happy to help, or any feedback. You can also write in the comment box if you know any literature or a magazine or a book or something that is different that I have not covered. If you want to add that, because I am having very different varied audience from abroad, also from different regions, also different areas also. Yes, NBT and CBT books, yes. So you can always, we can always learn from each other. Yes, for preschoolers, we practice with Pratham books. These are very interesting for kids. Yes, you can go to the website of these publishers, or you can just, I would suggest just go to their official website only. Amazon or the other platforms, I think they might have, but they might have an additional cost, additional shipping cost on other platforms. So it's better to have the original one, the from the site only, from their website only. Or you can also visit their office if you're staying in Delhi. Like Children's Book Trust is in ITO. Pratham Books, you can just check their address from the website, and you can just go with your child only, and he or she can select. Yes, how can we create interest, increase interest to read storybook for class 3, 8, 7, or 8? The same answer that I just mentioned. You have to read, you have to explore different concepts, and reading should be meaningful. Like if child is reading for pleasure, if the child is getting a book issued from the school library, so there can be an activity. Like after you read this book, you have to tell me what you have understood, or you can have follow up activities, follow up tasks, like what you how would the end be different if you would be the writer? Like if I would have written the story Lion and the Mouse, how would I end the story differently, right? Or what different things I can add if I write Lion and Mouse, my version of that story. So yes, activities connected to reading. The webinar code is flashing on the screen. It is 6837. You can see in yellow strip, yellow color. It's coming. The code for the webinar is 6837. Yeah. So we can increase interest, and you can always probe in first. Initially, probe in what is the child's interest. So provide him or her the books that the child is interested in reading. Like for example, if I'm a child and I'm interested in music, or I'm interested in uh, exploring different kinds of novels, so I should be provided with different kinds of novels in different languages, in different genres of different age reading levels, right? So I'll be having more and more exposure to different kinds of literature. According to me, if you're asking, physical copy is definitely important. It is definitely better always, because unless and until, if I talk about me personally, so unless and until I get a feel of the touch of the book, smell of the book, the pages, the text written on it, it's not reading for me. If I'm reading by my device, it is not reading for me in the real sense, right? So we are it has to be a physical book, right? So the feedback form is available on the Centa app, and it's open only after 6 p.m. So you can, the registered participants can submit their feedback form and the code is 6837, right? Okay. Thank you so much. So I was on the physical book is definitely better. Yeah. So yeah, any questions you have, like any feedback or any comments that you would like to mention for this session or for children's literature topic? I have encouraged my child by reading myself. Seeing this, my child gain interest in reading. As said, a child learns by seeing, not by listening. Yes, very correctly said. Yeah. So if you could just go back to your childhood days, you would definitely enjoy and cherish that the moments that when we were reading, when we were having exposure to different kinds of books and different magazines, different comics. Contrary to what is happening today, the children and adults themselves are moving away from reading. They just hesitate reading. It's not that there's not different good content available. Very good content is available. It is just that we are not into it, right? So be we have to read, we have to be like, as educators or as adults, we should be lifelong learners. We should be open to learning new and new things, and it happens only by reading and exploring different things, right? So unless and until you read more and more, you'll not be able to learn more and more and new things, and your perspective will be different, your thinking will be different, your skill set, knowledge will be definitely be different when we are reading, right? You can also explore different kinds of literature when your child is going to the library to issue the books, or to any book fair, or you can also take your child to book fairs or book exhibitions or book festivals or reading festivals. Like we have for our news channels, we have Sahitya Ashtak, and we have for Urdu language we have Jashn Rekta. So we can, if your child is uh, adult, bit older enough, or even young children, they have different writers also. They have different poets also invited, famous personalities also that are talking about literature, different kinds of literature, different kinds of genres. So we can definitely explore those things also.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you found the session informative. Thank you, Mrs. Akansha Jain, for the very engaging and informative session for our community of teachers. I'm sure that our teachers have a lot of takeaway from this session.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for joining the session. I hope you found the session helpful. If you have registered and filled out the feedback form for this session, check your participation record in the app in the My Learning section. I'll guide you through the instructions. Open the Center app on a device, navigate to the ongoing webinar section, click on the submit feedback. Please note that the option will be available at 6 p.m. IST. At the end of the session, we will share a 3-digit code required for the feedback. Enter this code to access the feedback form. 6837 is the code. I repeat, the code to access the feedback form is 6837. Complete the feedback form and you will be able to download your record of participation instantly. So this new process was introduced to streamline our experience and ensure your participation is instantly recognized. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you. So as we conclude the session, I wish to bring to the attention of our educators that CENTA has launched a free course named AI Summer. AI Summer is a fully funded initiative by Centus 12 Foundation. The course content has been developed by CSF in partnership with Vadhwani School of Data Science and Artificial Intelligence at the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Madras. It's a free course that focuses on empowering the students, teachers, and parents of Bharat with AI literacy at scale. To know more about the AI Summit and to access the course content, click on the link provided in the chat. On that note, thank you for your active participation in today's session. We truly appreciate your engagement. To register for more upcoming webinars, please use the Center app. Have a wonderful evening.